Peace. Happy winter solstice celebration to everybody. Going out to run a quick errand to the only store that's open. You know, it's bad when Walmart ain't even open. Walmart is supposed to be open, never closing, always available to sell you some garbage. How dare you shut down the garbage mart? Well, what I want to talk about this morning, I think I call this self-love, renewal, and superpowers. And I wanted to talk this morning about starting off with this phenomenon in the world of just people really hating themselves. And it's obvious in certain situations. You know, you can look at a person who, it's easy to look at a person who maybe does not dress very stylishly, or maybe they don't have good personal hygiene. You know, you can smell them before they come around. It's easy to look at that person and determine, you know, they don't feel good about themselves, or, you know, he don't like himself, she don't like herself, she hates herself, so forth. It's a lot harder though to distinguish them from, well, no. It's a lot harder to figure that out with the person who's more polished, the person who is all, you know, may dress well and may speak eloquently, or may be very knowledgeable, or things of that nature. That person is harder to tell that this person hates himself or hates herself. Because they do a good job of wearing their personality. You know, the word personality literally means mask. That's what it is. It's your mask. So the world is overpopulated with self-loathing people. People who really, I mean, deep down, hate themselves. And it's very dangerous. Why do you think we have such a rise of selfies? Motherfuckers riding around. You in the gym working out. Let's give you this example. In the gym working out, you got people sitting in the mirror. They got to stop in between sets to snap a selfie and post it to Facebook. Look at me, I'm getting it in. You know, and it's different because I come from the era. You know, I got a lot of injuries now, so there's certain things I can't work out like I used to. You know, I'm a pretty strong person, so it's just familiar to me to go and lift heavy ass weight. And cause of injuries, I just can't anymore. So, but this new era, you got these new cats who are weak. I mean, my wife works out. I see men who cannot even lift what my wife is pretty damn strong. But still, damn, y'all, at least they can't lift what she lifts. But they in the mirror with tank tops on, snapping selfies, posting them to Snapchat and whatever, Instagram and whatever. But underneath all of that, what is it? It is really dealing with self-loathing. The world now is highlighting your imperfections and it's telling you you don't have to be imperfect anymore. You know, you can go and buy your ass if you ain't got one. And it's become very superficial. Now, I don't want to be super mundane because I'm getting to something. Just stay with me here. Everywhere you look, you will see the results of people who don't love themselves. And that includes what we would call so-called consciousness. You have people who posture themselves as teachers and maybe even as leaders, which that's a whole nother subject right there. Let's just go on and touch on that leader thing. If you remotely feel like someone should be your leader, that's a direct result of you not loving yourself. If you think that somebody should lead you, that's a direct result of you not loving yourself. And you don't love yourself because you don't know yourself. And you don't know your true worth. So you're looking for somebody to lead you into your worth. Lead you to the land of value. Now, that's enough on that. But the person who poses as a teacher, a lot of these people hate themselves. I'm going to give you a way to spot it. You can be the judge. A person who hates his or herself is always condescending. Whether it's your teacher or on your job, in your relationship, I'm telling you, the person who is notoriously condescending when they talk to you or other people, that's a person that don't like itself. I don't care how much they appear to know or how much of a mystique they've built around themselves. This person or these people hate themselves. We don't know, a lot of us, what confidence really means. The root of confidence is confide. That means to go within. So if you are confident, then you don't have to outwardly project your confidence to people all the time to convince them. It never fails. I find somewhere to park. I'm not gonna get distracted. Motherfuckers all around. If you're truly confident, you don't have to wear a sign alerting the world of who you are. I'm powerful. I'm this. I'm that. That's usually what we call back in the day wolf tickets. You know, like if you're gonna get in a fight with somebody, normally the person that does all that talking about how bad they are and I can do this, I can do that, it's usually a chump game. You know, it's usually the person who's quiet. That person, when you piss that person off and you really make that person mad, you got trouble on your hands. You got problems. That person who's always bumping the gums and talking shit, they ain't gonna bust a grape. So these motherfuckers come sit right. So we have a lot of this going around with these people. The internet is an amazing thing. Where these people get up in front of these cameras and talk shit. And what I wonder is, why do people enjoy somebody talking down to them and talking shit to them? Now, we may say, well, Jamal, that's your ego. You need to humble yourself. Let me explain what humbling is. Humbling don't have shit to do with allowing some motherfucker to talk shit to you. And that includes me. If I lose my damn mind and get on an ego trip and get to going around talking shit and talking down, and that has nothing to do with being humble, because you will accept that. That means you're lacking some type of confidence in yourself and lacking self-love to allow some asshole who got to shit and piss and wipe their ass and tie their shoelaces just like you to talk down to you based on the perception of who they are and what they are. You know, Bobby Hemming used to say something. He say, when that motherfucker can go around the corner and take a bullet in his head, then I'll follow you. I truly miss hearing from Bobby Hemming. And people always say, you know, well, Bobby already did all of the work, and I don't need Bobby to teach me and lead me nowhere. But I would just like to hear his insight on some of the shit going on and where we are in the timeline, and just see if it aligns with where I'm at, you know? But I enjoyed watching I still enjoy listening to his lectures and his humility. Talk to people on the level that they're at, you know? And not this talking down shit. It's a lot of clowns out here, just everywhere in the world, just talking shit. So, enough of that. I want to show you a picture of something I got up in my house. And this, I would say, is the ultimate picture dealing with self-love and renewal and superpower. Now, picture looks crazy to some, but I'll explain it. Look at this. You may be familiar with that. That's Collie. Okay. Now you notice she's got a pitchfork. She got a severed head in her hand. She's standing on top of Shiva's body. She's got a necklace made of skulls. But you see behind her head, see, she's got the solar disc. Okay. So one of my strong suits is understanding the language of symbolism and teaching people how to decode symbols. This here is the ultimate symbol for humility, the ultimate symbol for self-love, the ultimate symbol for renewal, and for understanding your superpowers. All right? She's trampling on Shiva. And that's not saying, this is not a triumph for feminism. This has nothing to do with that. It's talking about overcoming the limitations of your rational mind, trampling on the ego, as in subduing the ego, not to destroy it, but to merge it and integrate it into its greater form, its greater reality. In psychology, when you're dealing with multiple personalities, you cannot just destroy a personality. Each one has to be integrated. So when Kali is trampling on Shiva, this is him being integrated into her greater reality. It is also the same as in sex. The man is erect to engage in sex, but he is becoming erect so that he can eventually die. Okay? So Shiva has given up the life force, or he has ejaculated, and now he is lying down in humility to the greater force. Now, she has a pitchfork in her hand. I want you to go in the Bible to Matthew chapter 3, verses 11 and 12, and you will see how John is talking about Jesus, the one who will come after me. I am not worthy to even hold his sandals. And he says he will have the winnowing fork in his hand. That's the winnowing fork, the pitchfork. Ain't the devil associated with the pitchfork? But because this alchemical process has gone on, you see the sun is risen behind her head. So that same character that's lying on the ground is also risen behind her. You see, Kali there is representing the womb and the tomb, a chamber of transformation. You go down into the dark recesses to be transformed and then to be re-risen or resurrected. That's the sun, the solar disk behind her head. Okay? This is very much a Christmas or winter solstice celebration image here. Because this is, think about it. The sun at the winter solstice has gone down into its grave and is standing still for 3 days, and then it rises again. She has trampled on Shiva, and Shiva, you're looking at the body, but the essence is still that sun behind her head. Shiva is resurrected, risen again through transforming through Kali, which is the calendar, which is the Kalis, the cycles, the hidden powers in melanin. Okay? Also notice these 3 colors. See the yellow sun disk, you see the yellow bracelets, the yellow other jewelry ornaments, you see a background of red, and you see Kali in blue. Yellow, red, and blue. Are these colors chosen just by happenstance? Does anyone know what the result is of mixing red, yellow, and blue? Let me show you what the result is. Look at that. See that? Different shades of brown. Different shades of brown. Okay? So let me show you something else. I brought other little props with me today. Store ought to be opening. Store opens at 9, so this is a book very fond of, the Superman Files. All right. And everybody's familiar with Superman. Superman arguably is the most powerful superhero ever. Now, you can have different arguments, but let's just say the most popular. Let's leave it at that. Let's not say the most powerful. Because I actually think Xavier and what's his female counterpart? Oh shit, the one on X-Men who's got the power of her mind, and Jean Grey, I think. Now I think they may be the most actual powerful uh, superheroes. But look at this. Look at the suit. Look at Superman's suit. Yellow, red, and blue. Let me see what was this? It's a different NL. That's a different universe. Okay. Yellow, red, and blue. All right. Look at Kali again. Yellow, red, blue. So this is what I'm getting at here. One of the main reasons you ought to have love for yourself, regardless of what your situation is, if nothing else, it's something my daddy taught me, and it wasn't even metaphysical. He just said, he used to say, look at that skin, boy. And he would, my daddy wore a signet ring, 2 signet rings. And he would say, he'd hold his hand out and say, look how good that gold looks against that skin. Because my daddy was dark, I'm a dark man, and, back in the day, sometimes darker complected melanated people were not considered as attractive as your lighter complected ones in some places. And he would always reiterate just how beautiful that skin looked against some gold. Now, I do believe that the creators of Superman, I don't believe I know, they were trying to reveal something in the colors chosen of Superman's suit. His suit. Remember, he is Clark Kent until he puts on that suit. And when he puts on that suit, he is Superman. So if for no other reason, this morning, on this winter solstice celebration day, you need to love yourself because you are wearing the fucking suit. You're wearing the suit. Now, part of our problem, though, is that for some of us, we've got stuck us wearing the suit, though. Just wearing the suit is not enough. The ultimate power is in learning how to use the suit. Peace, peace. Sir Big Head. The ultimate power is in learning how to use the suit. Let me see, did I miss anybody else say? Okay. But the whole point of us living and incarnating into a human existence is to learn how to use the suit. But the initial stage has to start with you actually acknowledging your own, if I dare say, divinity. Which means you should not allow anyone else to treat you in a condescending fashion, you should not treat anybody else in a condescending fashion. And you can't not look for anybody to lead you. You are Superman, Superwoman. Who can lead Superman and Superwoman other than Superman and Superwoman? What you have to do is, this is a university. You take stuff, you take information, you utilize it, and you move on. What doesn't work for you, you discard that and toss to the side. But there should be absolutely no one that you should label as your leader. One thing about the internet, information in history has been hoarded. And then information is flooded, then it's distorted and embellished. One thing about the internet, why it is never going anywhere, the internet is key to maintaining the matrix. Because the matrix has learned, don't try to restrict knowledge, put it out in abundance. You put it out in abundance, and then you can cause a quagmire where people don't know what is what, because it's just everywhere. It's overwhelming, all of the information. You got all these caricatures, all these different figures who, with all these different names, and that's another thing. I enjoyed the fact that Bobby Hemmett is Bobby Hemmett. You know, I'm Jamal Robinson. Now, I'm not knocking anybody for making their transformation and their name changes, but you know, I also know that there are some people who are some con artists who got all these different aliases. Now, if we were out in the street, we would just call them, these are aliases. So you don't really know who you're dealing with. So this is Jamal Robinson you're talking to. Now, I'm not one gonna share all of my business, because it ain't all of everybody's business. But, you know, it is what it is. So you got all these caricatures who created these little worlds, these virtual worlds that don't really exist, but they do a good job of presenting this as though it exists. That's very key for the Matrix. Very key, because too much stuff, too much traffic can be a distraction from getting to the truth. And if I'm still saying the same thing today that I said 3 years ago or 2 years ago, then I'm not digging, I'm not on a quest to hunt for the ultimate truth. And if I can never come back and say, well, you know, I used to say this, but I don't know if I quite agree with that anymore, then that means I'm bullshitting. If I'm never vulnerable and never acknowledge the fact that I'm vulnerable, I'm bullshitting. If I never can say and acknowledge that I'm still learning, I'm bullshitting. And the bullshit works for those of us who don't quite love ourselves, and therefore we can be hoodwinked and bamboozled by bullshitters. Let me tell you a lesson I learned about the so-called conscious community a long time ago. Y'all familiar with a store called Black and Nobel in Philadelphia? Some of y'all may have heard of them. I wrote a book 4 years ago called The Unapologetic Truth, little old small book. And I was trying to reach out to bookstores around the country, you know, black bookstores, to get the book in their stores, and um, wasn't very successful. Well, I got in touch with this brother. I don't know if his name is Hakeem, I think. Hasim or Hakeem at Black and Nobel Books, one of the owners. It's like, oh, yeah, it's cool, man. You know, we can put in the store. He said, send me 10 books and I'll send you the money from my PayPal account. You know, he's going to kind of like buy the books at a wholesale price. It wasn't a lot of money. You know, motherfucker never paid me. I mailed those books up there. He never paid me for the books. Now, you may say, oh, that's petty and this and that. See, I'm a person, I deal with principle. It don't matter if it was $5. And we were struggling back then. I told y'all it's been years of struggle. Motherfucker never paid. And I'm telling you, a lot of these people who are out here like they're the vanguard of black consciousness and, you know, motherfuckers ain't about shit. It's just a hustle. It's just a hustle. You know, they've read some books, they've gotten some knowledge. You know, people don't seek the truth because they get trapped by the illusions of the walls and the maze of the matrix. They call it correct. Correct. Um, so that was a valuable lesson for me to learn. I was gonna say something else. Oh man. Oh yeah. Yeah, just about just the whole hustle aspect. You know, they read some books, and then here's the new one. Here's the new one. There's this whole campaign of shitting on reading books. You know, nobody's saying that reading a book is an end all do all. Sit around and be a bookworm and, you know, don't do nothing. But a lot of these people, and I even, there's a brother, even on several I've seen, who sell books and then talk about how you don't need to sit around. Wait, hold the fuck on now. You selling a book. And some of them selling several books. And also telling people about sitting around reading books. And how you know, the English language is all fucked up. Motherfucker, you speaking in English. You wrote your shit in English. This works on people who don't think critically. Just sit around and listen to how some motherfuckers contradict themselves. Once again, they like to shame people that gain more knowledge than them. Yeah, right, right, right. Because the goal is to create this artificial ceiling that they are always above you and you're always seeking to get to their level. And now, don't that sound like the preacher? Now, we talk shit about these preachers and talk shit about Jesus. Let me tell you something, though. Them preachers give people a building they can come to every week and release their emotions. Hey, they'll have some dinners. They'll have some little Christmas programs and let them children come and get up there and feel good about themselves. You know what? I'm not going to sit around here and keep beating up people about going to church. That's for those people who it's for. I'm more concerned about them motherfuckers who claim to be so enlightened and run the same game that the preacher runs. And you ain't got no fucking building for the people to come to. And got some motherfuckers who will scam people saying they gonna build some shit and don't never produce nothing. At least the church will put a goddamn building up. We need to cut the motherfucking bullshit. These niggas is running the same motherfucking games that they sit and talk shit about TD Jakes and Creflo Dollar and this and that. But I tell you what, one thing you can't say, the motherfuckers don't follow through what they say they're gonna do. We're gonna build a building. Well, motherfucker, produce it. The bottom line comes down to self-love. I said it yesterday. Self-knowledge begets self-confidence. Self-confidence then begets an imagination, and your imagination is where you create. But if you don't know who you are and thus don't love yourself, you cannot create a world for you. Somebody else is always creating your world. And then come back and tell you, well, if you really want to get the real shit, you're gonna have to pay this and pay that. And and I'm not knocking people making a living off of their gifts. I have I have things where, my gifts you can share and support. But mind you, your life is not gonna be fucked up if you don't come and become a member of Masters of the Cosmos, or buy my book or get my music. It ain't gonna fuck your life up. You can still learn shit. You can go and labor like I have and learn, and will continue to learn. I am not the Almighty. I'm mighty, but I'm not the Almighty. I'm not the end all. So I got to get in here in this store. Maybe we'll chit chat again later. But that's just some things on my mind. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm running this store. Grab this stuff real quick. It's Brother Jamal, mastersofthecosmos.com. Stay down until you get up, and when you get up, stay down. Peace.